The camera recording will leave you in shock when you'll figure out what this woman does at night with her dog. Monica was sound asleep every night, completely unaware of what was actually happening. But when she woke up feeling weak one morning, she had no idea that she'd made a mistake that would change her life forever. Monica didn't know much about pet care when the symptoms started. She wished she'd known more. She never could have guessed what was going on behind the scenes, going from shelter to shelter. She began to search for the perfect pet. The tag on his cage said Tom. She knew he's the one. She adopted him. She wasn't feeling all that lonely anymore, but she had no idea what was really going on. It was obvious that he wasn't sleeping well on the floor at all. In the course of a week, he seemed to grow very attached to Monica, never leaving her side. But when she woke up one morning, she realized that there was something strange in her bed. She felt fur against her skin and quickly realized what it was. She realized that Tom preferred sleeping next to her on her bed. She had a queen size bed. All she had to do was make sure that her pooch was groomed regularly, as well as change her sheets daily. This might seem like a lot of work, but she thought it was worth it for his comfort. Monica got out of bed and tried to snap Tom out of it, but he was as if he was in some kind of trance. He was watching the bed and couldn't take his gaze away. She needed to find out what he was so fixated on. She installed cameras in her bedroom to figure out what he was doing in the middle of the night. The next morning, she woke up early before work and saw that Tom was doing the exact same thing. She turned on her laptop, but once she saw what he was doing, there was no going back. Monica arrived at the vet with her dog by her side and was ready to finally find out what was going on. She walked into the vet's office and put Tom on the exam table. The vet walked in and greeted her before getting to work. He examined Tom and even watched the recording that Monica had transferred to her phone. All of the questions made her a little uneasy. What was he really getting at? Unfortunately, it would be a difficult week waiting for the truth. That night, Monica didn't know whether she should let Tom sleep in her bed or not. He had done nothing wrong, but she was just a little creeped out by everything that had happened. Monica saw the kitchen window was broken and she ran out, but Tom was long gone. The day dragged on and Monica felt worse than she did before she adopted Tom. All she wanted was to have some company, but it seemed that she managed to push that away too. At that point, she was praying for it to be anything, but what she thought it was a million things passed through her mind at once. Monica heard that cats would often bring their owners some kind of critter they caught, and she was really hoping it wasn't a rat or bird. "What is it?" she asked Tom. Her voice was shaking nearly as much as she was. He nudged her hand again, and she couldn't help but wince. Monica jumped out of bed and ran to her bathroom. Monica let out a sigh of relief at the sight. She was so worried that Tom had heard her that she never considered what the other options could be. If only she knew how much trouble the puppy would cause. Tom must have found it when he was out exploring, and he probably brought it home because he knew it needed help. Monica aside not knowing what she would face when she woke up, Monica took some allergy medication and went about her day. The medication must not have worked since she had completely forgotten about her hands by the time she got home. But later that night, things took a turn for the worst. Monica realized that her camera was still recording and decided to watch the footage once again. There might be a clue on there that would explain her new condition. She watched the footage and noticed something different. Or was it because he was jealous of the new pup? She made her way to the doctor's office and was swiftly taken into the examining room. But just like the vet, her doctor had his concerns. The doctor did a thorough examination, paying special attention to her hands. He even went as far to do an allergy test, but it didn't take him very long to give up. The doctor's frown wasn't caused by his diagnosis, it was caused by the fact that he didn't have a diagnosis. He had no idea what was causing her symptoms. The doctor had never seen or heard such a thing in his life, and he simply had no idea how to treat it. He started asking questions about the puppy, and Monica told as much as she could, But seeing the look in his eyes really had her concerned what he had seen that concerned him so much. It looked like the doctor was deeply concerned about what he had just seen. The doctor told Monica that he suspected that she might have picked up the illness from the puppy, and that she had to have him tested to see exactly what it was that was causing her symptoms. Without those test results, there would be no definitive way to treat her. What the doctor said really scared her. She had no idea what was wrong with her, and she was afraid of what would happen if they couldn't uncover the source. Would she really end up in the hospital? Monica asked the doctor what would happen if she didn't get treatment soon. The doctor wasn't going to send Monica on her way, though. He gave her a prescription for medication that would lessen her symptoms and told her to get to the vet right away. Monica explained what had happened while she was waiting for the results and showed the vet the puppy Tom brought home that night. The vet carefully put the puppy down on the exam table, keeping his distance the entire time, and started checking it. He checked its ears, eyes, and throat before running a few blood tests and taking a full body x-ray. Unable to contain her fiercely longer, she turned to the vet and asked him how long this batch of tests would take. But what he said caught her completely off guard. The vet told Monica that he couldn't let that puppy leave with her. She was confused by his reaction. At this point, Monica had reached her limits. Nobody was telling her what was going on because they all wanted more tests or results from the tests they had already conducted. But she was fed up, she wanted answers, and she wouldn't be leaving without them. The vet politely asked Monica to calm down. He might have already found out what was wrong, but he needed the test results to confirm it. However, Monica couldn't take it anymore. She was angry and afraid. She needed concrete answers, and it felt like she couldn't afford the few minutes it would take to get them. But before he did that, he sent the puppy to the kennel. The vet told Monica that the puppy was riddled with infections since it was a stray with no mother to look after it. Everything that could be caught was caught. At that point, the puppy was the least of Monica's concerns. Her health was her top priority, and in her mind that made sense since she couldn't cover the puppy's medical costs while she was lying in a hospital bed. The truth of what was going on was pretty simple. Tom had been watching Monica sleep as he had a traumatic upbringing. He had brought the puppy home because he felt neglected when Monica locked him in the kitchen, but he soon realized that the little puppy could harm her, and he wanted to prevent that. It was so much for Monica to take in, and she knew that it would take a while before it was processed. Monica raised her concerns with the vet, but he informed her that her condition was beyond his realm of expertise. However, he was more than willing to offer her doctor an explanation of what he found as soon as she let Tom into the house. Monica called the doctor. She asked the secretary if they could have a telephone consultation, and the secretary agreed since Monica was willing to pay the consultation fee. Monica was anxious from the doctor's tone. She could tell that this was far worse than she thought it would be. It was clear that the medication he had given her wouldn't combat this specific bacterium. Within 15 minutes, Monica was sitting in the examination room and blood was being drawn for the tests. The doctor assured her that she wouldn't have to wait long to get the results, as they already knew what was wrong. The doctor finally understood that Monica was afraid and explained his concerns. While they waited, Monica finally understood what kind of predicament she was in, and it did nothing to provide her with comfort. In fact, it made her feel even worse. Monica had a ton of questions about her condition, and she started rambling as she ticked things off. The doctor assured her that her fertility wouldn't be in jeopardy, but he also told her that the risk of reinfection was quite high. However, there were ways to combat it, but luckily the situation wasn't as grim as he first assumed it would be. With a sigh of relief, Monica thanked the doctor, now that she knew that she wasn't in any danger. She felt better than she had, and on her way home, she stopped at the pet store. She loved Tom to death, but there was no way he was going to sleep in her bed anymore. He did bring the puppy home to make peace after all, and the aspiring mom couldn't just let the little pup make its way through the world alone. So this is it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Till then, take care of yourself. See you in our next video.